Get Into Geek. This is episode 67. We're talking Stargate SG-1. We are into season 4. My name is Mitch. Joining me, the rest of the full team of Get Into Geek. We have Matty.
What's up?
Brendan.
Hello.
And Rhys.
Yeah, g'day, guys.
If you are new to the show, welcome along. Get Into Geek is 3 Stargate veterans. We're introducing a newbie to the show. Rhys, you're that newbie. We're watching each episode with you for the first time, giving us a look through some fresh eyes. Matty, Brendan and I, we're talking about the show then and now, how it holds up, and a bit of nostalgia.
It's holding up all right.
It is going all right. We're now into the 4th season. Small victories. And, before we get too much into it, let's get into what the actual synopsis reads on the DVD. SG-1 is called upon to help a race of gentle, highly intelligent aliens struggling against a swarm of ravenous, deadly mechanical spiders called Replicators.
Spiders.
But the situation becomes much more complicated when a lone replicator is discovered in the most unlikely of places, back home on planet Earth.
In my ass.
Okay, before I go to
Did
you,
Robert
Rhys,
T. Cooper write that too?
who the wrote this? Honestly, did they have to
That's the
fill
most
out a
confusing
certain
thing I've
amount
ever
of
heard.
sentences? They got 3.5 here. It's like instead of SG-1 is called to help the Asgard.
Yeah, it's like the Asgard are a secret name that you can't tell anyone until they see the episode.
Yeah. Although there was that bit right at the end when Daniel's like, "Oh, they're fine."
Safe.
It's like, really, not everyone there has clearance to know about the SGC.
Oh, I was wondering about that.
I was like, that was
Because I thought it was kind of like a Captain Doctor type deal.
Oh, no, I feel like he wasn't allowed to say
Okay.
Asgard.
Right.
Asgard.
Even though everyone saw him just disappear out of the screen.
Right? Very weird.
So, Rhys, what do you think? First time, season 4, we're into it. We go to the Asgard world.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. When because Matty brought in his little replicator model the other week.
I brought it in again this week as well.
It's in the room again. Yeah, I was like, why is it a different colour?
Oh, yeah, I didn't realise that when I brought it in. I was like, oh, yeah, they're originally
this
purple.
isn't purple. This is weird.
Yeah.
We've got to go to another drawer to find a big purple thing of mine that I keep at home. Sorry. We can cut that out.
Eggplant.
We're not going to cut that
We
out.
can cut it out. But we won't.
It's another video on Patreon. But yeah, I love the adaptation from Into Space to On Earth, and the adaptation that the replicators, just use what's around them and blah blah blah. Given the action in the episode, I don't think there was too much to it. But yeah, the whole Queen replicator thing, and I don't know what else to say about it really. It was thinking about it now like it wasn't a.
You can turn his microphone off and we'll just chat amongst ourselves. I think that's something
Mate,
that
I haven't finished
Stargate do better than anyone else is ride that line between, like, there's an episode in, I think maybe like season 10, and it's like the first half of the episode they're in like this, medieval town, and there's sword fighting and all this sort of stuff going on in the mud. And then 5 minutes later, like, we're in the most epic space battle you've ever seen.
Right.
And it's kind of like, this is like the precursor to that. It's like we can have this really sort of dingy, we're inside a Russian sub, it's all cramped and, running around. So for me, that was the boring part of the episode, was all the stuff on the sub. I loved the Carter and Thor stuff. But yeah, it's interesting the way they can balance it so well. They have all that stuff in the sub, but then be in just the most fantastical setting when we go to like this Asgard planet and we see the O'Neill being, constructed and this amazing planet, and this space battle that all kind of takes place on like a DOS screen basically.
Yeah.
They've got.
Do you think
to
they
save
actually
a little bit of money? But
do you think they actually filmed that on a sub?
Yeah,
yes,
they did.
That is a
Nice.
real
And the-
Russian Foxtrot class submarine.
And the shot down the torpedo tube, or whatever that is, Martin Wood goes, all right, we need to get a guy down there with the camera. and the camera guy was like,
I ain't doing it.
claustrophobic. He's like, nah, I'm not f***ing doing it. And then camera B guy was like, nah, no way. So he goes, all right, I'll do it.
Really?
Climbs into all the way down that pipe with the camera. They go, all right, shut it. And he goes, shit, I'm never getting out of here. Like, that was his first thought. I'm never getting out of here. And then he rolled the camera.
Just shoot you out.
And then he banged on the thing. They opened it, did the take, and he goes, all right, that was good. Cut. And then they shut it on him again. And he's like, oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit.
Yeah.
No,
I only want one take.
Yeah. Get me out of here.
That was a real Russian sub. They're actually on a goodwill mission to Canada at the time, so they were able to get access to this real Russian sub that was actually called the Blackbird. It was actually that was its real name.
That's awesome.
Yeah, And then a little bit of fun, I think, because Mitch referenced it quite a bit, is the hunt for Red October.
What?
Do I?
Yeah, you seem to mention it a bit. Maybe not here. I don't know. Maybe just in general. I don't know. But anyway,
Like, so
Maybe not-
again with
maybe not in
the
this
Hunt for Red
podcast.
October.
But,
it's September. What's next month? Red October.
Jesus.
I've ever read. Like
You
other than
reference it all the time about how they pan because they're speaking Russian and then they pan in and then they pan out.
Oh
and
yeah, I
they're speaking
reference.
English.
I'm like, it's that and Valkyrie. Like I've mentioned it as a, like, oh, they do it in that film. I don't know
feel
that
like
I mentioned
in the last 6
all the
months
time.
I've heard you reference it like 5 times. Okay, that's just me.
Okay,
Anyway.
yeah, sure. We're speaking about like submarine movies or content. I don't know.
Yeah.
That I've ever-
U571.
Anyway,
or the great sequel.
Absolutely, U572.
The Beatles film clip.
fine. I'm not even going to talk. I'm not even going to do it. No.
Great sequel.
What else has a sub?
Batman,
Oh, Batman.
1966
Yeah.
movie. That's what reminded me of this when they were climbing on board, trying to kill the replicators.
What reminds you of Batman, Matty, when it comes to Stargate? No, he's had enough. Matty loves the Stargate Origins.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
what about the Russian sailor and Rick Moranis looking motherfucker?
Wasn't he weird?
Look at mother.
Yeah, and just gets owned by that replicator.
Yeah,
Just the bug just comes out and just I want to say like comes on his face.
pretty much.
I want to say it.
Yeah.
Stevens.
You
You
just
have
did.
twice.
Well, that's
I
fine.
want to say it. Nah, don't.
Now, something fun that starts.
Not a sexual build-up, but just aggressive.
Yeah, well, it's mechanical.
Something fun for this season that actually makes our jobs a lot easier is audio commentaries. There's now audio commentaries on all the DVDs from the directors and actors and producers and all that sort of stuff.
I better write that down. I forgot to do that.
So it's good because it's kind of less work for us, but it's also more work for us because I now have to watch the episodes like 3 times, so I have to listen
Yeah.
to it an extra time with the audio commentary. But they do point out a little funny in-joke that they have just with that Rick Moranis looking mother father.
This is a real Russian sub, and these are real Russians. We shot this as a Russian Foxtrot submarine. You got to listen to this part. They speak Russian all the way through it, except this one spot where the Russian says, "What is it?" And this guy says, "Maybe it's one of the bugs from another episode, from the other episode." And that's one of the reasons we didn't have a translation in there, was because we kept them in Russian the whole time just so we could put that joke in there. So only the Russians got that joke. But if you listen carefully, you can hear him actually say episode.
Episode.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Because I was going, how come there's no subtitles?
Yeah.
Because I was wondering
Yeah.
if my screen was cutting it off or something.
Yeah, well,
Just-
I was watching it on streaming service, and I'm like, oh my god, they don't have the subtitles. What? How
Yeah.
could they have uploaded a file like this? This is ridiculous. You know, I'd
Yeah.
go back into the DVD, and I'm like, oh, actually, no, that's just how it is. Yeah.
And just for Rhys's benefit, that was Martin Wood. That's the voice of Martin Wood, the director.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you'll get
It's
to...
funny because I was watching Origins on Stargate Command and it had the subtitles on and I couldn't get rid of it until halfway through the episode, which was fun.
What, you couldn't get rid of the episode until halfway through the episode?
How do I get out of this?
Yeah. I wish I didn't watch it.
The subtitles are great too. The way it was like, oh, they spelt Nakwada the way we say Nakwada, but pronounced it Nagada. And then, they went to a city called Nagada that was spelt Nagada,
Yeah.
where they film where they mine the Nakwada, but call it Nagada and spell it Nakwada. Oh,
Yeah. They just
Just
mispronounced it.
ridiculous.
Oh, man, it's weeks ago. It's fine. It's fine. We can move past it.
Did
What do they
anyone
say?
see
How long do traumas normally last?
Did anyone see Daniel's scar?
Yeah, I did.
That was huge.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that was sort of they make up that up for
I think
the
so.
episode? Because
Surely.
obviously he did have appendicitis, so he would have a real appendicitis scar.
Yeah.
But they're not that big, are they?
Well, I had an appendectomy, but it was keyhole surgery, but it wasn't emergency It wasn't emergency surgery. So, I mean, my wife has a scar, an appendix scar, and it's reasonably large, but she was born
Just
in
regarding the
Communist
rules
Czech
that are in
Republic,
place.
Czechoslovakia.
Sure, that's not a
so-
C-section scar or something like that.
No, that one's
Just
smaller.
to get the appendix out. Keyhole surgery wasn't the thing.
In the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, this is 2000.
Yeah, that's right.
Military.
How big was
Past
this
the-
scar? I missed it. I didn't see it.
It was-
Oh, it's
in
like the
episode.
opening shot is like
Yeah.
Daniel's midsection, shirt up, midsection,
Oh,
scar.
I'm
like,
gonna go back.
I want to
Yeah.
say like 5-6 inches long.
Yeah.
The scar I'm talking about.
Hang on, let me. Yeah. Wait, I'm not sure if that's. Let me just measure.
Yeah.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Half of mine. Is that
It's
what you're looking at?
Oh, this is double.
Cool.
What the f is
Yeah.
with Tilk's goatee?
Right?
Did you like it?
It was terrible.
But
It's
how funny
weird.
was that though? They're like, oh, we had technical problems with the gate, so we couldn't get it up and running, and that was
Nah,
just
couldn't get it up.
that was
Another
just
penis
for Tilk's goatee.
Grew in a week.
Yeah.
And of course, Tilk has the caterpillar on his chin. Chris came back.
It is CG though.
Chris came back at the beginning of this year with a little beard that he wanted to keep, and so we kept it until he realized how funny it looked and shaved it off himself.
Because, yeah, the premise being that short of there being bleach on the planet they were stuck on,
Yeah.
Yeah,
his facial hair naturally grows platinum blonde.
yeah. Well, you know,
I guess
maybe the molten gold that they've poured into his forehead has changed his hair follicles.
It's not a bad thought. It's not a bad thought. But,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was weird. How long does that last for?
Oh, I want to say like 6 or 8 episodes, maybe?
God.
Yeah. It's
Took
like
him a while.
7 episodes too long. But yeah, grew in a week, which is impressive. Same as Carter's hair.
Carter's
Her
hair
hair
did.
grew out in a week when they
Yeah.
were off world. Yeah, it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, well, a week off world without a shower as well. Like, shower, sir.
I'd be happy to debrief you all after I've debriefed myself for a nice hot shower.
Permission to shower granted. In fact, I insist on it, Colonel.
Bad? I wasn't going to say anything.
I was just thinking at that
What?
point, it'd be great if Tilk went, perhaps it is my pouch.
Oh. Yeah, how do you keep that clean on an alien planet for
Yeah.
a week?
Spitting it.
Junior's like a little plankton just eating all the bacteria.
Totally. Yeah, they didn't even tell him to get to the infirmary.
The infirmary.
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 Go and bloody burn yourself up.
Well, and now, Rhys, I guess you may have... Oh, we did speak about it during Nemesis, but we're now using the Antarctic Gate. Sort of from this point. Like, we lost...
Yeah,
Yeah.
true, yeah.
We lost the Ras Giza Gate.
Yeah.
In the,
And it turns
in
out
the
it
crash.
has the Earth point of origin on it.
Yeah, so this is, I guess, the out-of-world reason being we never changed the prop, but the in-world reason now to what we talked about in Season 1 about
Yeah.
that Stargate's point of origin is everything stays the same. Whenever they still use their same stock
Yeah.
shots of, you know, coming up to our triangle point of origin, and we keep our triangle point of origin patches on our shoulders and stuff like that. But yeah, we've lost Ras Gate in the ocean. Whether it survives or not, we don't know at this point.
Oh, of course.
But
Atlantis.
but yeah, we're using the Antarctic Gate now. But yeah, you do make a good point during Nemesis that like we've got that one up and running, but we didn't bother about the DHD.
Yeah.
So
Like, surely it'd just be sitting next to it. They send some contractors in to go pick it up, and they're like, what's this? Does that come with it? I'm not sure. Just leave it there. That'll be fine.
Unless Carter really stuffed it up in Antarctica, like when she was like, you know, hacking into the ice trying to get to it and futzing
Yeah.
with it, she's just really screwed it
Yeah,
up.
hacked it up.
Oh, surely they get someone to come along and have a fiddle with it. Like,
Yeah, but
when
Carter
bloody
would be the person that
Thor,
they get to do that.
Thor shows up.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, the
Oh.
iris, you know, stays open. All the electrics are down. He just walks through. The gate shuts off, and when he wants to turn it back on again, just like does the Nox thing, just like
Yeah.
waves his hand almost. Or he doesn't. He just sort of
He has
like
a little
it's-
crystal in
Yeah,
his
he
hand.
has
you
the
know,
little
yeah.
half egg.
Yeah, and
is
just
it?
turns it back on. I'm like, stop showing off. Like, we have to have a fucking like 1995 Windows computer up there. You know, Gary Jones has got a job pressing the shit. He just like thinks it. Just
Did you
whoop,
see
pops
Walter's
back on.
face when Thor walked through? They all kind of go, and O'Neill goes, "It's Thor," and then they all sort of walk off, and it just holds for a second on Gary Jones, and he's just like mouth agape, just like, "Whoa!"
What
That's the first time we would have seen
An Asgard.
an
Yeah.
Asgard.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
Because they always buzzed into the
during
meeting room and shit.
during Fair Game, Thor
Yeah.
just kind of
Yeah.
beamed in and
that's
out.
what confused me, because obviously they couldn't shut the iris because of the power. Lights went out. You've got how many bloody foot soldiers at the bottom of that gate? An alien walks through.
Yeah.
No one says hold your fire
Yeah, and they don't
until
shoot.
he gets to the bottom of the ramp, and then O'Neill comes
Stand
in and
down.
goes, "Stand down." Like, he would have copped at least 40 bullets.
Yeah, you'd want to
Easy.
hope.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Easy.
You'd want to hope that someone there like knows what an Asgard is and just kind
Yeah.
of like, you know,
Yeah.
maybe they have standing orders not to fire unless they're told to open fire, which is really dumb because sometimes it's like it takes Hammond a couple of minutes to get to the control room and the gate's already been opened.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
every
like-
time someone else walks through it, he'll say over the microphone, "Hold your fire."
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just think
Yeah,
was
he
very-
should say it.
Thor
very,
should
very
have died
lucky.
a second time.
But what a
feel that Thor should have died.
what a dick move by the Asgard though. It's like obviously Thor's the only one that likes us because he was put into a coma. We've saved you. They picked him up from the other planet and went
just bailed.
and left SG-1 and went, you guys can wait there.
Yeah.
It's fine for a week.
Well, we don't want to show O'Neill's ship before we complete it.
Yeah.
I love how protective Hammond was in that moment. And they just left you there?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, how dare they? He's like a parent.
Yeah.
They just shrugged.
And I feel like they have time to like take a shower, get rid of the stank that they've had for the last week, and then Thor just kind of walks through the gate. He's like, "Hey guys,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like no stops for leaving on the planet for a week or anything like that.
Yeah.
I like it how just before they got an incoming wormhole where Thor's coming through, Hammond goes, "We have no teams currently off world," as he runs out of the room. Like he needs to tell the people that. Like I was just thinking,
I'm the only one that
No,
knows.
they haven't seen the memo. Shit.
I just think it'd be kind of funny if, as they're crashing the Thor's ship into the atmosphere, if like SG-9 just came back from a mission, and the Stargate's on Thor's ship,
Oh.
and they're like,
Oh, right,
oh,
yeah.
fuck, and just seeing them plow into the ocean. Good old SG-9.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the
Hilarious.
Gould just, again, try to send a bunch of Jafar through.
Yeah.
And it's like, we've gotten through. They come through with, like, a couple of turrets and shit.
Yeah.
It's like 20 of them. They're like, what is that speeding toward us? The f***ing ocean.
I wouldn't have minded if Nareem or someone came through. What's his name? The Toka dude.
The cat comes through.
Martooth.
Yeah, Martooth.
Marty.
Oh, Samantha. Oh, I'm dead.
Oh.
Oh, my teeth hurt.
Oh, my God.
The Russians open up their, like, missile tunnel. Like, teeth just pop out. And they're like, what is this?
Someone's eaten through the submarine.
Yeah, the replicator has Martooth's teeth. These are much more efficient.
That would be
Martooth's teeth are the replicator blocks.
You see it all disintegrating, and you think that it's the replicators like chewing away at the metal, and you see him just just like tearing through the body.
Yeah, that's,
Oh, hey guys,
Oh, hello, Samantha. Just let me get through this wall.
Let me just build this dam real quick.
there's that Family Guy character that's like he's the British guy that's all
Oh,
teeth.
yeah.
That can't do it.
yes.
Like, oh,
So we get
sorry, JR.
We get our first look at Asgard,
yeah.
the actual Asgard
Is it?
planet.
I think they just say an Asgard planet though, don't they?
It's their home planet.
Well, I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they've got
Othala,
a few,
wasn't it?
a few
No, he
planets.
just says an Asgard planet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
May as
does.
well be like it's a beautiful utopia.
It's way
Like,
better
it's-
if Othala is their like home planet. This planet is way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. I never actually thought of that. That they'd have more. Like, yeah, he said it. Oh, you know, all my planets in the galaxy.
Mm.
But I never thought like, yeah, okay, if humans populated Mars, then we'd have two planets.
Yeah.
So couldn't you put a planet in the Milky Way then, so you can do some shit over here?
Oh, their
just
ships
move
can
it.
make it over here in 10 minutes, so why bother? Why bother, you know, getting a whole colony set up?
Now,
Yeah.
just
We'll get
on,
away from the replicators.
up until this point, I don't know what we learn in the future. What I'm just trying to think of how having seen a lot of these episodes for so long. Where does Thor rank in the Asgard hierarchy? Like,
He's
is
the
he
supreme commander of the
commander.
Asgard
fleet? So he's not
Yeah.
like he's the overlord, you know.
No,
Be kind of
he's-
like the head of the military, I would say.
Yeah, right.
he'd
Okay,
be
well, that
like,
makes-
what do you call this? Like the Secretary of Defense. Or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that
okay.
would be the
Well,
equivalent.
that makes
I would imagine.
more
I
sense.
think
'cause
he'd be a
further-
bit more hands-on. I think he'd be like the general of the Air Force or some shit like that.
Mm.
I would feel.
Well, he's on the front line. Like he's doing a lot of stuff by
Yeah.
himself too, making contact with humans by himself. Like when he zaps down in fair game, it's like, are you the only one on that ship? Because you only ever seem to be the only one on that ship. But further to your point before, that he must be the only one that likes SG-1.
Yeah.
Like when Carter gets there and he's like, "Oh, this is the O'Neill." I'm like, did you have to float that by a committee? What are the other ships called? Like, what was his?
He's the supreme commander.
No, that's what I mean. Like, he's obviously he's like, I'm going to call it the O'Neill. What's that?
That was cool.
It's based off off a human of the Tyree, and it's like, we don't know that guy. It's like, no. Trust me, he's legit. He's good.
Ironically,
you mean the fifth race guy?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Everything,
the undeserving of the knowledge. Right.
Yes. And then, not to spoil anything for Rhys, but there is another ship later down the track named after a member of SG-1. Not Carter, though. After everything Carter did in this episode, she doesn't get no ship named after her. I'm like, what? Those Asgard are misogynistic.
Bloody,
The
heard of equality? I'm just going to shut up.
Yeah.
Heard of a dictionary, mate?
I'll just head over to
the irony that you talking about equality
infirmary.
just chokes in your mouth as you talk about it. But yeah, just further to what you were saying, Mitch, I think in season 5 we do see like very briefly like the Asgard High Council, and it's just like 5 Asgard with little crystals necklaces sitting in a tribunal type thing.
Ex-Tok'ra.
Yeah.
Is Thor around?
Oh, yeah,
Thor.
I think there's that part there. So that's kind of the only Asgard we see that any sort of higher ranking than Thor.
Yeah.
How hot is Carter in this episode?
Oh,
I was wondering how long it was going to take you guys. I forget exactly who was involved. I want to say Brendan and Matt. However long ago, when we had you guys had a big tirade about her haircut.
Yeah.
Oh, and Rhys
Rhys had to interject.
What do you think now, Rhys?
Yeah.
Still don't give a shit.
What was the note there about Carter smile or something?
Oh, so when they first get back, Carter says to O'Neill, "Are you still going fishing?" And he goes, "Yeah." "Are you still staying here?" And she goes, "Yeah, I think I've had enough relaxation." And then they like smile at each other like they've just had sex off for a week off world.
Yeah,
he had a week to go.
Apparently, that's kind of the
Free
subtext
time.
they play up between sort of now and I think episode 5 or 6.
That definitely happened.
I feel that if that happened,
why do you think he wanted a shower so bad?
You smell like sex, O'Neill.
Perhaps it's my pouch.
What?
Oh man. What? Anywho, when they were talking about
yeah, sure, you betcha.
should we? They were like, "Oh, should we take the sub out and nuke it or whatever?" I'm just like, "Why don't they just sink it? Why don't they just flood the?"
No, because they can
Sub.
survive.
Well, that's the point that Daniel brings up is that one replicator survived an uncontrolled re-entry on a spaceship through like our atmosphere. Survived.
What about
that
the rest
crash. But that's the whole point. Is that one purple replicator survived and created all those other replicators out of the submarine, and it survived just blobbling about in the ocean. So if they sink that...
Yeah, you'll have coral replicators.
Yeah, that one purple replicator could just do the little walk across the ocean floor like Sebastian the Crab and come up anywhere else he wants, and they're back to square one.
Well, I'm thinking more because Tilk and O'Neill would have died had Thor have not come along. And as he said, that metal rusts. So you fill it with water for... I suppose it'll be at the bottom of the fucking ocean, but... you fill it with water for long enough, they'll rust up, won't be able to move, and then you just go in and take that one out.
Well, no, that's what they're saying though. Is that in the meantime, like for how long it would have taken them to rust, that purple one could have just popped out of the submarine
later.
And
it's like trying to find a crab in the bottom of the ocean.
What about pressure? You think the pressure per square inch would crush a replicator?
Survived.
Not the.
But that's what I mean though. Like
not the purple one.
It survived an uncontrolled re-entry from and a crashed spaceship into the ocean. Why? How do they think taking it out in the middle of the ocean and blowing it up is going to do any difference?
And
when
how
a bullet can stop it.
Yeah, it literally shot its leg off, shot it in the middle, and then it just fell apart and didn't come back together. I'm confused about that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a little bit convenient that you know.
So there's no real rule about it. It's just like.
I think
just shoot it 3 times with a shotgun.
So the energy from an explosion and stuff like that isn't going to separate the Chiron pathways that hold things together. But I guess
what's a Chiron?
The force of a bullet actually physically separating those blocks.
Yeah.
Seem to be enough. Although if you look at in the previous episode, Nemesis, O'Neill shoots them with a bunch of bullets.
They come back together.
But then they come back together again.
T-1000, that's what I thought.
So it's a little bit convenient this one where they go, oh, okay, well...
That's why it's confusing.
Well, it's kind of like the Jafar. when they're introduced, they're fearsome. They're these crazy warriors that take 100 bullets to take down, and now you can just shoot one with the fucking pea gun.
I think there's only one thing we can say about it, guys.
Cooper! Smelly pooper!
Now, given that I missed it for you, Brendan, I did grab this one for you this episode.
Not going fishing?
No, sir.
Wait.
Dope.
There it is.
Dope.
Forgot my own thing there for a second. So that's, I guess, the first of this season is the first Simpsons reference. So we might start taking some tallies of that one.
Nice.
That does get.
I thought you were going to do the yes, sure, you betcha.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've got that one too. You won't believe it.
Both of them did it.
How can we help you?
Your projectile weapons proved effective in fatally damaging the replicators.
Some.
Your technology and strategy for destroying the Ballispner was successful.
Yeah, but you guys.
The Asgard have tried to stop them. You have demonstrated their weakness may be found through a less sophisticated approach. We are no longer capable of such thinking.
Wait a minute, you're actually saying that you need someone dumber than you
Shanksy talking to Shanks.
Yeah.
You may have come to the right place.
He's such a good ventriloquist.
Thor, with all due respect to your situation, we need SG-1 here.
I could go, sir.
I don't know, Carter. You may not be dumb enough.
I think I can handle it, sir.
Permission granted.
We must leave immediately.
Take some food? Water? Nah. I'll eat Lego.
Yeah, sure, you betcha.
I just love how Carter's... First of all, then there's like 20 seconds of nothing happening there where Carter's just waiting for Thor to walk up the ramp.
Yeah.
Which I love. But I just love that Carter was really smart there because she's just like, let's see, I could go and fart ass around shooting bullets on a submarine.
Yeah.
Or I could go with Thor to like an Asgard planet and fly around on his ship. And
to another
be
galaxy. I
badass.
think they played that down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So,
So that's why I was just like, go Carter. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Damn straight.
I like the yellow ones.
Possibly my favourite Thor quote of all time.
That was great, eh?
I like the yellow ones.
and she just couldn't handle it.
No. Apparently they did make that out of something really disgusting too.
Oh, okay.
To help Amanda Tapping.
I like the yellow ones.
Because she has issues with overacting when she's acting against herself. Like in point of view and when she's acting across
Ergo.
from nothing.
Ergo,
Ergo.
Apparently in Learning Curve, again from the wonderful Illustrated Companion that I've been plugging for the last few weeks, in Learning Curve when she's working on the Naquita generator with Merrin, was it?
Yeah.
And it gave off the energy wave. The prop guys actually set up like little vibrating things in the desk that she didn't know about. So when the desk actually shook and moved to give her that extra, she was like, "Oh," which apparently she loved.
Yeah.
I love the whole back and forth with Carter and Thor. How she's going. What? I know it's a stupid idea, but that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was brilliant.
Yeah, I think that is my favourite part of the episode. The whole Carter and Thor.
Yeah.
And the little,
Their back
like
and
you said, the
forth is
DOS kind of Pac-Man.
Yeah, just a way to save money. That's something they do
Yeah.
in Star Trek as well when they kind of want to save money and just
Waiting
save
Where
money
else do they like to save money?
Save on like big explosions and space battles and stuff like that, where they just kind of do it as like a computer display like that. You can just see the little, little chess pieces moving about.
That's sick. Yeah. That's the Spaz 12, baby.
America.
I believe you got it, O'Neill.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Yeah.
Do you
I would
really
have put a burn on there, except the fact that O'Neill kind of goes, "Yeah, I think I got it."
Yeah.
It was just like, if he hadn't said anything, it totally would have been a burn.
Yeah.
Do we think that the Russians really would have wanted American soldiers on their sub? Do you think they would have let them on?
No.
Dude.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, true.
Like, there's no way, there's aliens. All right, the Americans want to come on. Okay.
The
no
The
way.
Russians weren't involved, were they? Like,
It's a
It was
Russian
their
sub.
sub.
Yeah, but they said they found it and they dragged
Yeah,
it.
didn't they find it because there was...
Oh, the Yanks found it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Yanks found it
With Russians in it.
They were all
No,
dead.
they were all
They were
dead.
dead.
They were all dead,
Yeah.
but
And that's what I thought
Russia
when-
would still know.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I
They'd be
thought
tracking their...
Davis, when he's like, "Oh, we've got it here," he's like, "Let's just take it and blow it up. We don't need the Russians." And I'm like, man, you could start a fucking world war
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You've got one of their subs and you're going to go and blow it up.
Yeah.
If they find out any of the 100 minor details about this thing. You are going to go to war with Russia.
Well, this does set up a great recurring thing. Is they established very early on in this episode that the Russians are suspicious. They didn't buy the cover story of Thor's ship crashing. And it does set up from this point on where the Russians do become very present in problems for the SGC because they're starting to, click onto what's going on. They're like, I'm not sure. Between that and Apophyse's attack a couple of years ago, they're like, we can smell the bullshit.
Well, what are they going to do? Obviously, I mean, I haven't seen the next episode or so on, but the sub's still full of replicators. And
I think they just blew it up in the end because the purple one was dead.
Yeah.
So they just shot it. And
right.
Yeah. That was...
Like your theory is they'll rust and fall apart.
Because remember, at the end, Teal'c and O'Neill got pulled out 2 seconds before.
Yeah.
Because they launched torpedoes.
Yeah.
The other submarine, which I was getting to earlier, which was named after the one that hunted the Red October in the Hunt for Red October. We won't go there.
Sorry, mate.
So the torpedoes.
Mitch,
were...
what do you think?
Your fucking favourite movie.
I'll have to go and watch it first.
Wouldn't be the first movie you owned and didn't watch, mate.
Oh.
Well, I've seen it, but don't own it, so it is slightly different.
Oh, breaking the pattern.
He doesn't watch movies he owns.
Yeah, that they're collectibles, mate.
I own them. Why would I watch them?
He gets free movies, and then he just goes and buys for things, so he doesn't watch them. So it all balances out in the end. Yeah, so the US submarine launched torpedoes, and they were 2 seconds away from hitting the sub when O'Neill and Teal'c got beamed out. So if they hadn't been beamed out...
No, I think it hit the sub, and he goes, direct hit. And then they got overrun, and then Thor pulled them out.
Well, those torpedoes did jack shit then, if that's the case.
Yeah.
It was the back of the sub. They were at the front,
sinking.
Yeah.
I love it how... Quite literally, the scene where they kill the replicators, 5 seconds later, Thor's ship is above Earth, and they've located where that O'Neill and Teal'c are, and beamed them out. I was just like, Cooper. He does that a lot. I think this is where I started to go, especially in the behind the scenes stuff. His idea is hang a lantern on it. Just say it. That was good timing.
Yeah.
O'Neill said it was good timing, so that's funny.
Yeah.
It's forgiven.
But then they kind of... I wasn't a big fan of the ending, the way they just reused that shot from Fair Game, where it's just Thor's ship just pulling out of orbit and going off. And it's like, well, hold on, does he not want to scan and make sure, A, that the replicators are all gone, B, there's no wreckage that survived, like Asgard technology just floating around in the ocean?
Yeah. Because there was the seal.
Yeah.
Remember at the end of Nemesis?
You just think the fucking toll when they go to the toll plant, like, can we borrow a pen? We don't give you technology. The Asgard have got a crash ship, and Thor's like, see ya, bitches!
I mean, Thor didn't think to maybe scan to see if our original gate survived.
Yeah.
Don't
help us out.
Could be on the bottom of the ocean.
That's a great point, Mitch, that you just raised. Like, if you said to the toll, can I borrow a pen? Oh, we don't check technology, but we have that technology. Yeah, it's just our policy. We don't share.
You're still working on primitive ballpoints.
We've got laser pens.
We actually do 3D printing.
And we're like, you guys, we gave you sheets. That's technology. We made those. You don't even know what sheets are.
I like it how Major Davis says there was a report that there were large mechanical spiders. Now, I remember you giving my son shit, Nemesis, about calling them spiders, yet Cooper...
Oh, you brought that up, mate.
Says spiders. They're spiders.
With 4 legs.
With 4 legs.
4-legged spiders. It's a thing.
No, it's not.
No, I don't believe it is.
This is
correct.
Rhys, there's another recurring thing here with Jack playing with magnifying glasses. You see when he was in Carter's lab and he's just playing around with that?
Hello.
He does enjoy the old magnification. So,
yeah, that was a good little comic bit.
He always finds a prop and just fucks around with it, just for shits and giggles.
I just would think of Cooper in the writer's room for the pitch for this episode. Okay, so we had bugs. And now we have techno bugs. So now, Queen Techno Bug.
Aquatic techno bugs.
And it's on a Russian sub. Oh!
That's going to be difficult, Robert. How do you expect us to get on, humanitarian missions?
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Look, we're in Canada. There's a Russian sub. It all makes sense.
I'm going to be producer soon. Or I am. I can't remember if I am or not yet.
Carter's going to go to like an Asgard planet. She's going to like save the planet, but we're not going to see any of the bugs that she saved from the planet.
And there's only going to be one PowerPoint slide of the planet.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
We can only afford 2 shots of the O'Neill.
I do like
then
it
we're gonna
when
blow
Carter is really excited that she killed the replicator bugs and gives Thor a hug. She's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Thor's like, awkward.
Yeah.
We did it.
It was your stupid idea, Major Carter.
You, mate.
Yeah. Sure was, buddy. I just couldn't help but think when she hugged Thor, she goes, I'm sorry, are you hurt? He goes, no, but I've arrived.
Well, funny you say that because I couldn't find the actual interview, but apparently there's like a behind-the-scenes interview with Amanda Tapping, and she says at one point during the filming of this episode, Thor grabs her bum. And she turns around and slaps him and then goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then realizes she just apologized to a puppet. And then apparently the main puppeteer, because Michael Shanks records all his lines later on, but the main puppeteer guy apparently is a bit blue. So apparently there's hours and hours of footage of Thor just like breaking a scene just by like looking down the camera and just saying something dirty, and it's like, and Martin Wood said that there's just hours and hours of footage that no one is like, they're not even allowed to take it to conventions. It's so like blue, like
nice.
People outside the production
put it on this show, mate.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
All right, that's episode 67 of Get Into Geek. Small Victories, Maddie. What's coming up next, mate? What's the episode called?
The Other Side. Look, spoiler alert, guys. I fucking love this episode.
Good. I'm
gonna need the box of shame, so make sure that you guys have put some bits in the box of shame.
Rhys yawns.
And any of our new Patreon subscribers who want to get involved, you can put your requests in as well, because I will definitely be opening the box of shame when we talk The Other Side next week.
Excellent.
I mean, I feel like the payoff's going to be fun for us, but,
yeah,
you know, I mean,
so much extra work for us.
Oh no, you got to write a sentence. Then again, we saw your notes.
No,
we
have
saw your
to listen
notes
to you
for an
talk about
entire
Star
episode
Trek.
of 4 lines, so I guess writing
Yeah.
1 line is actually a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Just gonna put penis in there.
Like, these 4 lines on my notepad are an hour's worth of TV.
All right, until then, you can check out all of our old podcasts. If you have just joined us to kick off Season 4, we have a bunch of other episodes up, including our Stargate Origins wrap from a couple of weeks ago, a Season 3 review from last week, but otherwise 66 episodes to catch up on. Check out Get Into Geek, a Stargate podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcasts. Find us on the socials if you want to get in touch with us. Follow, subscribe, like us, whatever it is, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And as the boy said, we do have a Patreon if you'd like to get more involved, support the show, but also get more involved in the show, have some suggestive input on the show and things like that, and also some exclusive content we have available, so you can check out all the details up there as well. Myself, Mitch_Lewis, Twitter and Instagram. Maddie.
At High Pitch Maddie on Instagram.
Brendan, where are you at?
At the Brendan Gibson on Twitter and Instagram.
And Rhys.
At the Flying Gibson.
Until next week for, what's the episode called again?
The Other Side.
Until then,
GetIntoGeek.com.